Hi, everybody. It's Rhoda from Cigar City Tarot. Welcome to day 21 of Ethony's 31 Days of Tarot. Today, we're going to talk about whether or not I read reversals. It's interesting because when I first started, I always had read reversals and I always knew people who did. I don't think I ever really paid attention to readings where someone might have not been reading reversals. So it was kind of interesting that this prompt came up. And then when I started my studies, more in earnest, I found it a question that a lot of readers don't like to read reversals, whether or not they just simply turn it around and say, oh, yeah, that's not a big deal. But where I'm learning and the things that I've learned is that there are only 78 cards in the deck that have to represent multiple hundreds of thousands of scenarios and situations that may happen in someone's life. And when you're stuck with 78 cards, that's not a lot, to pull out of that. But when you reverse, then you end up with, 78 more. So you have a total of 156. So today I thought I'd talk a little bit, and here comes Jerry. I talk a little bit about why I read reversals. So I picked out a few of my favorite reversals, well, just to kind of be in comparison among multiple decks so we can take a look at it. Here, I have the Three of Cups or the Three of Ghost. I'm going to leave them in reversed, so that you can see them that way. This is from the one of my favorite little Halloween decks. This is the Three of Cups reversed from the Paulina Tarot. This is the Three of Cups from the Standard Rider-Waite. I will move these up because I have a couple more. We're going to kind of look at these and then talk a little bit about them. Oops. This is the Three of Cups from my favorite. I've talked about this deck a couple of times in over the course of this. And this is the Three of Cups. I'm going to put this one right here. This is the Three of Cups from the Sugar Skull Tarot. And then I have a couple other ones, and we'll wait to hold on to them. So if we think about the standard Three of Cups, we'll take a look at the Rider-Waite Smith. This is about three women, celebration, good times. Hey, girls, let's go out. I'm getting divorced. I'm getting married. Party, party, party. Let the fun begin. It's Gasparilla. If you're in Tampa, it's almost Gasparilla. Anyway, it's all about celebration with friends. It's all about, maybe it's celebrating the end of something, retirement. Maybe it's starting something new, like a marriage. Maybe it's starting a new life, like a divorce. Maybe it's just, girls' night out. When you take a look at it in reversed, though, the meaning changes a little bit. You see that their cups are upside down, which means all their drinks are falling out. Maybe they're having a bad time because they're a little too drunk now. Maybe they can't really see clearly because they've over imbibed, or maybe now it's time to clean up after the party. And so things aren't looking so happy for them. So that one and all of these are just different variations. Same way with the Ghost. If you take a look at this from the Halloween Tarot, the Ghosts are celebrating, having a good time, and they're all, interconnected here with their knots in their tail. Well, when you turn it upside down, I actually had it upside down, I was looking at it, you see that their tails are tied in a knot, which could mean that tomorrow they're going to feel really bad, or they're tripping over themselves because they're too wasted, or something didn't go the way they wanted to at the end of the celebration. Anyway, so those are just some different looks. With the women here, the Three of Cups looks like they're falling down. This one, this is an interesting one. The Three of Cups, two girls and a guy. If you were doing a love reading, or you may be asked, what's going on with my boyfriend? Well, he's wishing for a menage here, and you're looking at him, and he's looking at your friend. But everybody's going to be having a good time, plenty of food and drink. But when you turn it upside down, you're going, oh my God, look at how her eyes look now. It's like she's rolling her eyes going, what the heck am I getting into? So anyway, something interesting to look at there. So in general, I'd say if we talk about It's like my mouse is in the way over there. When we talk about reversals, they can show how plans are disrupted or they've gone bad, right? Like in the case of here, your plans were to have a good time with your best friend and your fiance, maybe your boyfriend and whatnot. They also can show breakdowns or breakups in terms of relationships and energies, the endings, whether or not it was expected. So in the case of this one, where you look at, and I'll move these out of the way, we'll just pick them up as I need to, move them over to the side here. I take a look at the Ace of Wands from the Northern Animal Tarot. And the Ace of Wands is typically, you know, a very energetic card, you know, a flash of inspiration, passion, you know, go for your dreams. But in this case, if we turn it and look at it in the reversed position, to me, it's like a little mini tower, right? Look at all of those little lightning bolts, you know, raining down. Smoke is coming out of the top. Those clouds are not happy. And these leaves are going to be jilted off of pretty soon off of their little branches and whatnot. And so this one, I think, would be a situation where, you know, that was an unexpected situation or ending where you thought, you know, you would come up with a great idea, move forward. This one says, no, wait a minute. It's not as bad as the tower, but it certainly could be an indication about miscommunications or, you know, some where you thought you're moving forward. Maybe it was a bad contract that you signed and you thought it was really good. Another way that I look at reversals is the lessening of something, you know, something slowing down, you know, the easing off of something. So if you take a look at this card, I just pulled the Sun card out, pardon me. This is the Sun card out of the Sugar Skulls, and you can see very bright and happy. The Sugar Skull is just reigning over the world, the stars in the background, everything seems and feels warm and beautiful, and the flowers and whatnot. Well, with the Sun in reverse, and this is with the Rider-Waite-Smith deck or any other deck that I found, it's just not as bright, right? It could be the sun setting instead of the sun rising. So it's the lessening of something or the slowing down of something. You know, that, you know, maybe that bright midday sun is starting to ease off as it's getting more towards twilight at the end of the day. So it's not necessarily bad. The Sun is a wonderful card. It, you know, it can show that something is going to come out in the light. Things are going to be good, you know, kind of the happy path. But this one it's not bad. It's not like the Ace of Wands that we saw that looked like it could be tough. This one's just not as bright. Your future may not be as bright. The situation may not be as clear, but you'll still understand. And maybe you'll you know, it's like the difference between, you know, 10 a.m. and 6 p.m. when the sun is starting to set versus when you can still see things, but maybe not as clearly. I think another way to take a look at it is avoiding something, as in not doing it or not wanting to do it or fear of doing it. You know, maybe it was the, let me see if I can find one here. No, I don't have one that's there, but maybe you were avoiding something, you know, maybe you were avoiding here. Let's look at the Rider-Waite Three of Cups. Maybe you were avoiding going out with the girls, you know, and then you found out later that they got in a DUI, right? So somebody drove that shouldn't have been driving, and you were just avoiding, you know, maybe your friends begged you to go out and you just didn't like someone there and it turned out to be a bad night. You know, that could be a demonstration, depending on the reading, of avoiding that situation where you didn't want to be in that party or whatever they were doing. And then I think lastly, it's, you know, maybe, and again, this could be an example of dodging the bullet. So dodging the bullet, you know, which can be a good thing. So in this case, you know, your friends went out, they didn't have any plans. They didn't plan on calling Uber. They were just going to pick you up, and you're like, no, you know, if we're going to go out, let's, you know, get a designated driver and whatnot. And so they went out and partied, and then something happened. They got pulled over, or, you know, they just ended up with a bad time. So you dodged the bullet on that one, you know. So same thing here. This is an interesting one. The Ten of Swords, always at the ending of something. And it's like, you know, stick a knife in me, I'm dead, or stick a fork in me, I'm done, right? But on this one, maybe it was dodging the bullet that, you know, even though it's the ending of whether it be a relationship, a marriage, your work, or in this case, something that you really had put all your heart and soul into, it's not as bad. And maybe you dodged a bullet there that you didn't, even though you might have had heartbreak and whatnot, it wasn't as devastating as it could have been. So hopefully you found this interesting. And if you're interested, don't forget, it's hashtag 31 days of tarot, all one word. Check it out, see what other readers are doing. And if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please hit that button. I appreciate it and have a great day. We'll see you on day 22.